Moved by Mr. Sandman, seconded by Mr. Vogt. I call on Mr. Brookline.
Hello. My name is Alex Cornswile. I live in Precinct 3 and on Sewell Ave. And my co-petitioner, Lisa Kalarick, who lives on White Street in Precinct 8, wasn't able to be here tonight. Her daughter is graduating from college. If you're here to support the resolution on impeachment, please stand. That includes family members, I guess. Thank you very much. The 429 petitioners that Lisa and I represent did not ask for this special town meeting and bring this resolution before you to obstruct a president we find distasteful. If it were only a matter of personality, politics, and policies, we would stick to opposing him in the political realm. Our concerns go much deeper. We bring this resolution for one reason and one reason only. Our president is violating the Constitution, and Congress is not doing its job of enforcing it. We want Brookline to call on Congress, and specifically our member of Congress, to begin an investigation to determine if there are grounds for impeachment of the president, specifically whether he has violated the emoluments clauses of the Constitution. Given the events of last week, though, I want to call your attention to the end of the first resolve clause, which directs the House Committee of the Judiciary, quote, to investigate whether sufficient grounds exist for the impeachment of Donald J. Trump, including, but not limited to, the violations listed herein. The president's recent flurry of activity, apparently directed at obstructing the FBI investigation, is yet another dangerous manifestation of his unwillingness or inability to comply with the Constitution and the rule of law. Whether or not the other investigations going on in Congress now, or the FBI, show that he has obstructed justice, we believe that it's important to pursue these violations of the emoluments clauses as a matter of precedent, to make it clear that no president may violate the Constitution with impunity. As you will have learned through reading the resolution, the emoluments clauses of the Constitution were developed by the founders to prevent an office holder, especially the president, from personally profiting from his office or from being influenced by personal financial interest. What we have is a president who appears to be doing both. Think about the Dakota Access Pipeline. Trump owns an interest in the parent company of the pipeline developer. As soon as he got into office, he reversed the decision of the Army Corps of Engineers and restarted work on the pipeline. Think of Trump Tower, whose largest tenant is the state-owned Commercial and Industrial Bank of China. That same bank is a major lender to the Trump Organization. Thus, he receives both rent and credit from this entity owned by the Chinese government. Think of all of his golf courses, hotels, condo developments, and all the permits they need to build and operate around the country and around the world. Think of all the regulations that affect them. How can we be sure that the Trump administration's policies aren't influenced by the Trump Organization's bottom line? How can we be sure state and foreign governments won't curry favor with the president through friendly regulation and expedited permits? There are indications that this is already happening. The president's violations are not minor encroachments. They're not small details. They go to the heart of the intentions of the founders of our country, to establish a government by the people, of the people, by the people, and for the people. They were trying to create something different from the European monarchies of their time, in which the powerful at all levels sought to enrich themselves at the expense of their people. In fact, the drafters of the Constitution specifically identified violations of the emoluments clause, both clauses, as impeachable offenses. The question before us tonight is really very simple. Do we want to live in a constitutional democracy or not? If we don't stand up for the Constitution, the social contract is broken. If we allow the President of the United States to violate the Constitution, that Constitution means nothing. It's only relevant if it's enforced. We must not accept this level of corruption as business as usual. This is not a partisan issue. It's not about Donald Trump's qualifications or his policies. It's about ensuring the continuation of a democracy based on the Constitution. It's about upholding the rule of law. If Donald Trump is not held accountable, we reverse the long-standing principle that no person is above the law. You might ask why the town of Brookline should pass this resolution, given that we don't have jurisdiction in the matter. If Congress won't do their job and enforce the Constitution, then it's up to us as citizens. It's up to us as the cities and towns, as institutions of government, like town meeting, that are closest to the people, to demand that the Constitution be enforced. Towns frequently petition their members of Congress to act in their interests. It is in Brookline's interest to have a federal government that operates with integrity and a president who respects the rule of law. It's not in the town's interest to have a corrupt government that serves the private interests of the president. If you're concerned about repercussions to our town if we pass this resolution, I ask you instead to think about consequences. What will happen if we don't enforce the Constitution? How will future generations look at our actions at this critical moment when a president willfully and openly violates the Constitution, the founding document of our republic? Thank you very much. I urge you to vote yes.
I've permitted Ms. Bourne as the principal petitioner to exceed our 5-minute time limit, but on the theory that she may not have realized that existed. However, the rest of you are all longtime town meeting members, and I will ask you to limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Mr. Sandman.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm duly warned. Mike Sandman, town meeting member from Precinct 3, speaking to the advisory committee. As soon as. There we go. Article 1 calls for our congressman to ask the House Judiciary Committee to investigate whether President Trump should be impeached. Impeachment 101, for those of you who don't remember your civics class, during impeachment, the House Judiciary Committee is in effect the prosecutor. If articles of impeachment are approved, the 435 House members act as the grand jury, and if they vote favorably, the articles are sent to the Senate, which becomes effectively the trial jury, and a 2/3 vote is required to convict. Next slide, please. There are 3 precedents. In 1868, Andrew Johnson fired Secretary of War Edward Stanton, and Stanton had been, was responsible for Reconstruction, policy of Reconstruction, or enforcing Reconstruction in the South. As Secretary of War, he commanded Union troops. Congress responded by indicting Johnson. The House responded by indicting Johnson. 1973, Richard Nixon was accused of obstruction of justice. And his comments are up there, I'm not correct. I don't know his last words, but his first words were, I am not a baby. In 1998, Bill Clinton was accused of perjury and obstruction of justice, and I won't go into that. No president has ever been convicted by the Senate. One of the presidents who was impeached did quit. In 1868, Johnson came within 1 vote of being convicted, which the Senate voted 35 to 19. 1973, the House Judiciary Committee passed 3 articles of impeachment supported by all of the Democrats and 1/3 of the Republicans. And that vote by the Republicans foretold indictment by the House and conviction by the Senate, and Nixon resigned. In 1998, the majority in the House knew that the impeachment would fail in the Senate, but it used the process to embarrass and weaken Clinton. Next slide, please. The petitioners say that Trump has violated two clauses related to emoluments. First of all, there's the foreign emoluments clause. Next slide, please. So on your left, you have foreign emolument. And on the right, ruble notes, Russian rubles indicating a foreign emolument. They are not the same, but there is a similarity between the two. Both may be used to grease the palm. Next slide, please. An emolument is a salary, fee, or profit for employment of office or office. The Constitution says, no person holding any office of profit or trust shall, without the consent of Congress, accept any present emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state. And the complaint about Trump is that since his companies are earning money from clients who represent foreign governments, diplomats staying at Trump's hotel, for example, and since he still owns the corporations that own that hotel, he's violating the Constitution. The defense is that if the Chancellor of Germany pays a market rate to stay in a Trump hotel, that's not an emolument, it's just an economic exchange. Exchange for a room rate. And if she overpays in the hopes of winning favor, Trump has promised to hand over any such profits, although the details of that are still pending, like the details of his tax return. Next slide, please.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you. I'll use it well. Then there's the Constitution's domestic emoluments clause. The president shall not receive any emolument from the United States or any other than his salary. And of course, the Secret Service is renting space in Trump Tower. Next slide, please. The petitioners want our congressman to take step one in the impeachment process. That would take place if Representative Kennedy asks the Judiciary Committee to investigate whether Trump should be impeached. Step two would take place, as we've said before, if the Judiciary Committee agrees to investigate and votes for one or more articles of impeachment. Step three would be for the House to indict, and step four would be a trial in the Senate. Next slide, please. The article before you does not conclude that the president has violated the Constitution. It only asks for an inspection. It is a modest request. The outcome of an investigation based on the emoluments clause is in doubt because it's arguable whether payments for arm's length commercial services are in fact emoluments. Nonetheless, some advisory committee members agree that the claims of violation are troubling enough to justify an investigation. And other members
Please conclude, sir.
Other members argue that unlike the case where budget items are on zoning bylaws, the advisory committee doesn't know anything about constitutional law. This uncharacteristic blossoming of
Can you
humility.
tell us how the advisory committee voted and then sign off, Mr. Sandman?
Yes, sir. When a motion to offer no recommendation failed 10-11, the advisory committee then voted 15-2 to 4 to recommend favorable action on the version of Article 1 presented in this meeting. Next slide, please.
Nope. Ms. Heller?